Alright guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly and welcome back. Hopefully, you had a great Christmas and obviously Boxing Day football was back today and Manchester United have dropped 2 points away from home at the King Power Stadium. It finished 2-2 in the game. Marcus Rashford scoring his 50th goal of his Manchester United Premier League career, or his 50th Premier League goal, but it was cancelled out by a goal from Harvey Barnes, really of our own doing. And then in the second half, towards the end, Bruno Fernandes finishes with aplomb, finishes with clinical, with just the sort of finishing that we needed throughout the game, really, if we were to win the game. Bruno Fernandes comes up trumps. But then a few minutes later, Jamie Vardy sticks in yet another important goal, yet another vital goal for Leicester to make it 2-2. And neither team really created too much after that. And realistically, again, missed chances have cost Manchester United. Missed chances are the reason we didn't win this game. Also, not great defending at times as well, but I think missed chances is one of the main reasons why we didn't end up coming away with the 11th consecutive Premier League win. And the streak is broken. The streak is broken, but at the same time, we have no one else to blame but ourselves. We really don't have anyone else to blame but ourselves. I don't think Rashford will be too happy with the way he finished today. Umer, thanks for joining, appreciate it. He says, what do you think about Maguire? Thanks for joining, Umer, appreciate it, mate. Maguire, for me, is up and down. I didn't think he had the worst of games today, but you could argue his positioning for the second goal wasn't brilliant, but apart from that, I don't think you can really blame Harry Maguire for us not getting the 3 points today. So I think Maguire's not as bad at times as some people think he is. I think actually he can be a calming influence in the defence, but he is prone to making a few mistakes. And today there was that one where he passed it back to David De Gea and it got a bit messy back there. But fortunately, it worked out for us and we didn't concede. But yeah, Harry Maguire obviously not the most popular figure right now at Manchester United. But I actually don't think, and it might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I don't think he's as bad as a lot of people say he is. But that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts, Umer, and anyone else in the chat? Tom has joined us. Thanks for watching, Tom. He says, missed chances to send a message to the rest of the league. Exactly. I mean, we could have won that game 3 or 4-1, or maybe 3 or 4-2 now that Vardy got his goal. We really should have been, 2 or 3 up at half-time with the chances we created. Rashford missing that header from point-blank range is just going to haunt me. I just can't watch Match of the Day now. I really can't with that sort of chance. And then the one towards the end as well. But we missed opportunities. We missed opportunities today. And we've got to take it on the chin. That's what happens in games. Leicester City aren't one of those teams where you can miss opportunities and still come out with the 3 points. We've been playing those sort of teams, like Sheffield. These sort of sides where even if you miss chances, you can still come out with the 3 points. And unfortunately, it didn't work out that way because Leicester have genuine quality and they were always coming forward in that game. Tom also says Cavani is unstoppable today. Just proves my point about him. He has been good. Cavani has been good today. There's no doubt about it. When he came on, you saw the difference he made. Obviously, setting up the goal for Bruno Fernandes. And I was really thinking that Cavani was going to get another winner. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another set piece. Edison Cavani got on the end of it, but he definitely changes games when he comes on. He provides a different dynamic that we don't have when you have the likes of Martial and Rashford up front. Martial, credit to him, even though he was offside, finished the chance that he got today. But it just wasn't to be for us, really. We missed opportunities, and when you do that, you come out, you get beaten. That's what happens, and it's as simple as that today. Really, I don't think we actually, defended that badly overall. I think we did make mistakes. We kind of gave them chances that should never have been chances. Their first goal, Bruno Fernandes tries to nutmeg one of their players, bounces out to Harvey Barnes, and he doesn't get the shot. Is not no attempt is made to block the shot. You get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. Umer says 8 million defenders should be the calming figure at the back, but whenever a ball is put in the box, there is a hoax. Yeah, well, the thing is, obviously, the 8 million price tag is always going to be kind of put above Harry Maguire's head, and I'm sure he knows that, and I'm sure he accepts that. But at the same time, I don't think you can really blame Harry Maguire for today's performance or today's result. I don't think you can blame him. I think actually defensively he wasn't bad today. I would disagree with anyone that said he was really poor today, because I actually thought he was all right. I didn't think he was the main fault, but obviously some people might disagree, and it's all right if you disagree. But for me, I wouldn't blame Harry Maguire in this sense. Owen says, Leicester scored the 2 chances they created all game. Bloody frustrating. But hey, if you said we'd be here this time last year, I would have slapped you. Well, there you go. Thanks for that. Dazza says, afternoon, very annoyed because it was a game that we should have won. James was a 3. He was crap all game. His end product was poor. I'll give you that. Daniel James' end product was poor, but again, this is something we already know. We know this by now. You know, Daniel James has some ability, but his end product is poor at times. And you know, that would oh god, I've got a bloody thing like a seed stuck in my throat. Sorry about that. But yeah, his end product is poor. I think there was one time he was running through on goal. He had Fernandes running through on the left-hand side as well. And he just played it way too early. He could have just kept running. But I'm not sure whether it's just a confidence thing with Daniel James or what it is. But, you know, realistically, he needs to sort that out. So yeah, James wasn't brilliant today. And Daz also says defence is a joke. Yeah, it was. I mean, our defending today... Well, I don't think our defending today was that bad, but I think for the 2 goals that we conceded, we could have done better. I think for the first one, it was more about the lack of closing down. I mean, if you look at where Scott McTominay is, you know, with that first goal, he lets him shoot. He's almost going, you know what, you're on your left foot, go on, have a shot. And it's like, have you watched Harvey Barnes play at all? At all this season? He's on brilliant form, so... It was frustrating that we just let him have a shot, and obviously you could argue David De Gea should have got there as well. So it's frustrating in that sense. It is frustrating in that sense. But Bruno Fernandes was given man of the match by the BT Sport pundits. And I think, you know, he did play well. He did create quite a few chances. And once again, there's going to be a compilation of Bruno Fernandes' chances that he's created for other players. And he could have had, you know, double the amount of assists that he's got right now. That chance... he created for Marcus Rashford today. Criminal that it didn't go in the back of the net. Absolutely criminal. You think someone like Cavani on the end of that and it's a goal. It's a simple goal. Because all he needed to do was just head that down anywhere towards on target, and it's got a 90% chance of going in. So frustrating that one didn't go in. Obviously, that was one of the missed chances that cost us really. G, Red Devil Studio, thanks for joining. Make sure to check out Red Devil Studio if you haven't already as well. He says, we know our defence will concede goals, so we need to score more. Well, I agree. I fully agree. I think, as well, as I said at the start, you know, when you miss chances in games, it's all right if you play teams, you know, like Sheffield United or West Brom, because they don't really create too much going forward. So you feel like even if you miss a few chances, as long as you score 1 or 2 of them, you should be absolutely fine. But Leicester are a team that always come at you. They always have an attacking presence. And unfortunately today, we missed too many opportunities. And we could have put them to bed. There was lots of opportunities in that game. We could have put them to bed, but we didn't. And then obviously, we had some questionable defending as well. Once again, defending crosses, we get unstuck. And it's something that we've been crying out to be sorted out and to be looked at. And you'd think surely the coaches would be on it, but I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Umer says, Ollie's sending Delo on loan and playing the likes of Axel and Lindelof at right back. What message does that send to the likes of Williams and Fotumenta? Well, I can tell you what message it sends. It's not a good message, Umer. It's not a good message. But yeah, as G said, you know, Lindelof at right back didn't work. I think most United fans looking at our lineup knew that it was going to be problematic seeing, you know, Victor Lindelof at fullback. I think a lot of United fans already knew that because, you know, as centre-back he can be a little bit dodgy, never mind as a fullback. And people were saying, yeah, he's got more pace than Maguire, but that doesn't mean he's got enough pace. And yeah, I just think Lindelof at right back was never going to work. We've tried putting centre-backs at fullback before, and I can't remember the last time we came out with a good result. So obviously it goes back to that Einstein quote of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. So it's frustrating in that sense. But obviously, if players are injured, then you can't do too much about it. But I think he could have gone for Fosu-Mensah as well. Dazza says 3 games in a row that we conceded 2 goals. Defence must improve. I didn't actually think about that, but yeah, it's 3 games in a row we conceded twice. But what I'm thinking is that, you know, in these sort of games away from home, that's been the trend. The trend has actually been that our defending hasn't been that great. But going forward, we've been an absolute machine. And today, we still showed signs that we are a very good attacking force. And on another day, probably 9 out of 10 times we win that game because, we take the chances. But at the same time, it is frustrating when you don't take those chances and come out with a draw or with a loss. Obviously, we didn't lose, and I think that's one of the main things out of this game is the fact that we didn't lose. If we lost this game, then it would have been a really, really poor Boxing Day. But the fact we got a draw anyway isn't the worst. I don't want to be lowering my standards, but it's not the worst point in the world, especially considering how well Leicester have been doing this season. Adam, thanks for joining. He says, screw Maguire. Hope he gets injured and Solskjaer hits him saying, I don't like your cut, G. Well, listen, thanks for joining, Adam. I mean, I wouldn't wish injury on any player, to be honest with you. And also, I don't think you can really blame Maguire for us getting the point today. I don't think you can really blame Harry Maguire, in my opinion. I think there are other people that you could point the finger at. But at the same time, a lot of people are crying out for different defensive partnerships. So we might see that. We might see that in future games, especially with the rotation we're going to have to do. G says, overall, though, it's a good point. With a game in hand against Leicester, I think certain fans were getting a bit too gassed on potential title challenge. Yep, I know a few of them, mate. A few of them, trust me. I think a lot of people, especially after we won the game against Sheffield, and everyone was thinking, we've taken the chance to take points off our rivals, and we're not bottling it anymore. And then obviously what happens today? But Leicester are a decent side, and I think that has to be taken into perspective. We're not playing back in 2015 anymore where Leicester are crap. Leicester are a decent side. I think some people are saying that they've replaced Arsenal as one of the top 6 sides. So I don't think it's the worst point. I agree with what G says. I don't think it's the worst point in the world. I think if we come out of that with a loss, and to be honest with you, the way Leicester were going, we could have easily done. But if we come out of that game with an L next to our name, it would have been problematic. But we have that game in hand, and we just need to make sure we can keep up some form of momentum before that game in hand so we can put ourselves in a good position. Rasmus, thanks for joining, Rasmus, appreciate it. He says, our defence is absolutely shite. No two ways about it. Yeah, I think it needs improvement. It needs improvement, no doubt about it. And, I really hope we do go into the market for a centre-back. Obviously, Upamecano's in the mix. David Alaba's also in the mix. So, there's some names flying about. Obviously, with Manchester United, you can't count on the board to do shit. But at the same time, I agree. The defence does need sharpening up. And to be honest, you could argue we didn't have our full-strength defence out there. Obviously, with Lindelof being at fullback, there's no way that's our fault. That is just, filling holes where there's gaps. So, with our full-strength defence, do we win that game? That's an interesting question. Do we win that game with Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back? Let me know your thoughts. Welcome, K-Side. Thanks for joining. Change your name to FCW2. But anyway, thanks for joining, K-Side. Appreciate it as always, a friend. Bruno says, Dazza says, Bruno is a good player who can create opportunities for other players whilst also scoring some himself. Debatable opinion. I think there are occasions where he's inconsistent. I think you're not wrong when you say that Bruno Fernandes sometimes makes the wrong decisions and can be inconsistent with his passing. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, I thought today he was pretty good. And again, he saves us so many times. He's one of the main people I feel sorry for whenever we don't get the 3 points in games like this, where he's created chances and put people in on a plate and they haven't finished, and then we don't come away with the 3 points. But I think if he's still in decent form, got the goal today, really good finish from him. So we just need to hope up and hope that, just hope he doesn't get injured as well. Fingers crossed for that, because that would be a travesty. G says, we also need to be more intelligent seeing out the game. I think so. We kind of look to, keep attacking, even though realistically, when we got that goal, there's about 10 minutes left, including injury time. So maybe we should have changed the way we played. But Solskjaer's obviously wanting that style where we kill the game off, get the second, but then get the third, which in some ways I understand, because as a fan, the last thing you want is just to be kind of sitting back on your own box, just defending all the time. But when you do that, you open yourself up, and I think when they scored that goal, we looked very open. We still looked very open, even though it was late in the game. A few people have joined. Man United fan Stan and Kobe. Thanks for joining, guys. Really do appreciate it. K-Sai says, yeah, but today showed how Maguire is a so-called leader. Give him the armband. Wow. The bit of praise for Harry Maguire. Obviously, we've had a few bad comments about Harry Maguire, but a little bit of praise. I'm sure if Harry's watching in the dressing room right now, he'll love that. But yeah, I think Maguire today wasn't the worst, in my opinion. He wasn't the worst. But, I think there's some other players who've got to look at themselves. But I think overall, defensively, we need to improve. We did look a bit sloppy, especially in the first half. But that's something that's got to be worked on the training pitch. And if it's not being worked on, then you've got to ask questions. I am going to allow people to come on and have their say, because I haven't done that in a while. Kobe says, Dan James, McTominay, Maguire, shocking, says Kobe. I think Dan James could have done a lot better as well. And McTominay for that first goal. How he does not close Harvey Barnes is a mystery to me. Rasmus says, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's performances have been below par this season. So based on that, not sure if our full-strength defence includes him. I mean, he has been a shadow of himself pretty much after lockdown. Yeah, I think, with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he is a bit of an enigma. He's someone who can have a very good game, but on other games he can be up and down. I think positionally as well, he's got to improve on the amount of times that there's someone at the back just kind of lying there at the back, unmarked, back post, is very worrying. And we've conceded quite a few times because of that this season. So I think positionally he needs to improve, but I still think in terms of a one-on-one defender, he's very, very good. Man United fan Stan says Maguire was shocking in my opinion. He was at fault in a way for both the goals. So yeah, Maguire's getting a lot of hate actually, because K-Sai said Maguire. I thought you were praising Maguire, but actually he says Maguire is an 80 million fraud. So Maguire is getting an absolute pounding right now, an absolute pounding. But I'll tell you what, I'll open up the chat and we'll ask you about Maguire among other things, because I haven't actually had a chance to speak to you guys. To be honest, I haven't really had a chance to speak to any of you because I've been doing, pre-recorded stuff. So let's get a few of you guys on. If you are watching and want to come on, please do feel free to have your say. Matthew's joined us. He says, James and McTominay fans coming back down to earth with a bump. Yeah, listen, it wasn't the best performances from them. It wasn't the best. I think McTominay as well. He should have done a lot better than he did. I can't really say more than that, to be honest. But this is the problem. This is the problem for me. Is that Harry Maguire is, I don't know. For me, it might be an unpopular opinion, but I just don't feel like he was the worst player on the pitch today. I really, really don't. Everyone's giving him a lot of hate, but I don't think he was the main guy at fault today. But we'll see if you guys agree, and we'll get your thoughts. It's good to. It'll be good to hear from you guys, because I haven't actually been able to do calls or anything, especially over Christmas.
You sound like a robot.
Do I? Oh, am I lagging? I think I'm probably lagging a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm probably lagging, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if I am lagging. Then we might have to just put the calls off. Prakash, thanks for joining. He says triple bet money for a draw. Oh well, fair play, Prakash. At least you won some money out of it. Fair play to you, mate, and thanks for joining, Prakash. Man United fan Stan says Martial is disappointing at the moment, but I know that he's been playing well the last two games, but overall he's been dreadful. Martial hasn't been having the best time of it at the moment, to be honest. So I don't know what's going on. But guys, can you? Is my voice kind of a bit? Is it lagging and stuff? By the way, let me know in the live chat if it is lagging. But for you, K-Sai, and I'll add Anna in as well. But for you guys, is my voice lagging?
It's a bit echoey.
It's fine for me.
All right, I don't know what's going on. Oh wow, okay. Well, I'll just try and fiddle around with stuff. But it should be right. Unless is it coming out of this? Yep.
This is the only time I want Arsenal to win.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. Obviously, Arsenal playing Chelsea. That is going to be a good watch, hopefully. Chelsea are going to go above us. Well, I don't. Well, yeah, but I think. Well, yeah. Realistically, Arsenal don't have a chance, to be honest. Realistically, but you can always hope. But hopefully, you guys had a good time, Christmas and stuff like that. Let me try and add Dazza back. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but if it doesn't, then we can't do much. Can't do much about that. Kobe says Rashford should score his chance. Phil Jones would bury that. I mean, that header, to be fair, it's frustrating to see that back, to watch that back.
To be fair, Rashford ain't good at headers anyway.
Yeah, true, but that is it is a point blank header in front of the goal. That's the one. Obviously, Kesar, you really rate Marcus Rashford. So what were your thoughts on his overall performance today, and also what was your thoughts on the overall performance of the team?
I think we didn't do bad. I think we did well. You can't deny it. We played pretty well, to be fair, and I think mistakes cost us the result today. To be fair, I don't know why he put Lindelof at right back and put James out right wing. The right hand side was an absolute shambles. I mean, they could have put. I mean, I don't know what happened to Wan-Bissaka. I didn't hear anything about Wan-Bissaka.
He's probably injured.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think he was injured. Yeah, I think apparently Ollie said he was injured.
I mean, this
Please,
proves
for the
how
love of God, just get
we're not in
out
the
of
title race, man. We're not in the title race. If we're in the title race, then bloody Arsenal can win the league, for God's sake. But jokes aside, man, I think I'm just annoyed with our performance. I think we should have won the game. We should have sealed it. And of course, Rash did miss, but you know what? Even like the top players miss, like Raheem Sterling, he missed that open chance against Lyon. Sadio Mane, I've seen him a few times miss open chances. I can't really criticize our performance that much, can I? But I just think, let's be honest, Liverpool play West Brom tomorrow and Newcastle, and we play Wolves. So sad reality, title race is done.
Yeah, I mean, some people could argue. Well, some people could argue that we actually, it never started really. Obviously, we got a little bit of an inkling, especially after we beat Sheffield United and we gained points on the people around us. But I think realistically, we were always 5 points behind Liverpool.
Kieran, look, we finished third last season. Now we're third again, and I think our best hope is to finish second. And then next season, Liverpool will probably be 20 titles. We'll probably be 20 titles. So let's go all out and get some big players in to bolster our squad and challenge next season. I mean, we're not that far off, to be fair. We're not that far off. But I just don't think we're going to win it this season. You have to be realistic. Even Tottenham were thinking they were going to the league a couple of weeks ago. Tottenham were on position.
Yeah.
Tottenham were in our position.
Yeah.
And they bottled it. So that's what I would say.
The thing is, the league, the league is so it's the league is so I'll do it. But the league is so the league is so tight this year. That's what I say. And basically, one slip up from someone in the top four and one win, completely changed the complexion of the table. So I don't think anyone's really out of a title race, but I think Liverpool are just too good this season. I think Liverpool are going to run away with it again, which is frustrating, and it's hard. It's hard to kind of to stomach that, but it's the truth, and I feel like Liverpool are going to run away with it.
To be fair, West Brom did draw with Man City last time, and they kind of gave us a game at Old Trafford. So, but it's at Anfield. So I don't expect Liverpool to mess up. If they do mess up, it'll be. I think the race is open if they do mess up tomorrow, but I doubt it. I really do. I just think they're probably going to slap West Brom on like 5-6-0. Yeah. So that's sad reality, really. To be fair.
Well, yeah. I mean, as Daz has said, and I'll bring in Adam. But as Daz has said, I feel like you can't say in December whether a team's out of the title race or not. But I feel like it is looking unlikely, especially if we don't bring in anyone in our defence in January. I think it is looking very unlikely we're going to be able to do that. Adam, your thoughts on today's game, mate?
It's not that we even played bad, it's just that we made mistakes and we weren't clinical. I'll be 1 minute.
Alright, no worries. No worries. Right, let's get Dazza back then. Dazza, hopefully you can hear me, mate. Hopefully everything's alright. I'm not sure if there are any technical issues. But hopefully everything's alright. But I'll come to you, Daz. What were your overall thoughts on today's game? I think the overwhelming majority are saying that defensively we made mistakes and we didn't take our chances. Is that something that you'd echo?
Yeah, the exact same thing. I didn't think our performance was great, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm back.
Some of the chances that we had in the first half and the second half really should have put them away. I'd agree that's cost us, but I think at the same time the defence was at fault. Maguire, for me, we've seen improvements from him the last couple of games, but I don't think he was the best today. And I don't think Dan James, I'm sorry to tell you, Kieran, is crap. I've got a better first touch than he has, and I don't even play football.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. His first touch is one of the worst in the Prem, and people are expecting him to start half the time. He should have started Greenwood. That the front three of Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood doesn't get stopped. You won't.
You should have started Cavani.
You might be one of the best. You might be one of the best defensive teams in the league, like Leicester. But come on, I mean, seriously, is Dan James likely to do anything against Leicester when he can't even do anything against half the other teams?
Daniel James can't do nothing in a low block. He's only good on the counter attack.
He never does a thing anyway.
Yeah, I know.
He can't do a thing anyway.
Legit.
It's useless.
I
That's the
don't care
problem.
who we bring in, whether it's Upamecano.
It's frustrating, but we should have got the win. We really should have got the win.
I think we should have, I think we should have shot after we scored the second goal. Put everyone back, and we got pace up front, and Bruno Fernandes can hit, or Pogba can hit a long pass, and Rashford and Martial could probably bury another one, and we would have won the game. But I mean, all he goes attacking when we're 2-1 up, and then I mean, I'm still only out. I'm still only out after the Leipzig game. I'm still only out. I'm not gonna change my opinion until he wins the title, because Liverpool are close to our 20 titles now, and if they, break our record, then whose job was it? Is Liverpool winning the title? Is all on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and United and their board and everything. It's during his time they won titles. It's unacceptable, but what can we do? I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, what can we do? I heard the board and that are actually going to back him in January because Pochettino have now signed for PSG. So, I mean, who would want to come to the club anyway?
No, not Ollie out again.
Money grabbers.
I think what a good centre back is actually out there. Upamecano, but he's not going to sign. Yeah, but I doubt it does. We never really sign players that were in the race with PSG.
No, Real Madrid.
I mean, the thing is with the Upamecano deal, the thing is with that is the fact that it's a deal that we should get done, but the most obvious deals we never seem to get done. It only cost us around 45 million.
I mean, the deal's not going to happen because the Leipzig director says he won't go till the summer. So, they're in the Champions League round of 16. So I doubt he's going to sign unless United chuck a load of money at Leipzig. But I mean, if Leipzig were in the Europa League and we beat them, then I think he would join. But Alaba, I think Man City will probably get him.
Oh yeah,
where are we going to?
Did you hear Tuchel?
Yeah, Pochettino. Is Pochettino announced? Because I didn't.
Pochettino's
I don't think it's been fully announced yet. But I think yeah, Pochettino probably is going to be the guy that takes over.
I mean,
But
you could sack Solskjaer quickly tonight
Good.
and then get Pochettino in
I
tomorrow
don't
morning. That's what I
yeah, I
would
doubt
do.
that's gonna, I doubt that's gonna happen. To be honest, it's
Happy days.
obviously, you know.
And it saves
Yeah,
them
I mean,
money, to be fair.
it'd be pretty incredible if that sort of thing happened. It'd be pretty incredible. But I think that the board have, as you said, KSI, the board have come in and said they're going to back Solskjaer. So I don't think that was
Yeah.
going to get sacked. Adam, what do you want to say?
Well, obviously, in terms of defence, you know what it is with transfers? I don't see us completing. I see us completing one deal. That's Caicedo.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Heard about that.
Because even though Aliba's free, would he really want to be United when there's clubs like Real Madrid and Liverpool on him? Who, let's be honest, they're better than. Well, I'm not Real Madrid because they did La Liga, but Liverpool, he definitely choose to go to them over United.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
Well, yeah,
Kieran, I'd like to bring in a point here.
yeah, go on.
First of all, what position does what's it called again? Caicedo playing again? What position does he play?
I think he's defensive midfielder.
Free Donny.
So we got so at least we got a CDM now to hopefully play in that position, because I think CDM, you know, I love Fred, but I think we need like a proper CDM. And people are on McTominay's back, but I think
Who's
he
playing next?
wasn't really, he was playing kind of a deep position as well, to be fair, today. And I
anyone
have
know who
no
we
hope
play
that we're
next?
gonna sign a centre back. I think
Right.
the centre back that I would sign now,
Kieran.
I'd chuck 10 million at Alaba and get the deal done. Like Tellez in the summer. Remember Man City, they were offering
Yeah.
him and United wouldn't pay the fee. Just get
Yeah.
it done, because we need a good defender, experienced Champions League winner, and David Alaba. And if we get David Alaba, then I think our
Do you
defense
not
sort-
think? Do you not think though that you know? Do you think not either one of Baye or Tuanzebe could do a job?
I think Tuanzebe, after today, he's a little bit inexperienced. He's a little bit inconsistent. I think Eric Bailly,
I'd
he's
rather
just too
play
clumsy.
Mate right now instead of Maguire.
Huh? I mean, I'm an on man. I just think if we won the game today, we could have been in a title race. We play Liverpool January 17th at Anfield. I'm not.
Yeah,
I think we might win the game, but
You know what?
it still doesn't matter. We can
Nick-
win the big
Nick
games,
could win the game.
but we can't beat the small teams.
Well, this is the thing. I think talking about the Liverpool game, I think you're right. I think you're right, Adam. Like, I feel like I think we could potentially win that game just because of how our style is very suited to being the
Will
underdog
this
and
be
counter
Bruno's
attacking.
first game be Liverpool?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I think so. But he'll have a big influence, I'm
There's
sure, on
only
that
one
game.
problem.
I mean, we've been defensively solid against Liverpool
If we
at Anfield. It's just
Kieran.
mistakes that cost us. But
What the hell is
I mean-
happening with Caicedo? We should have that deal wrapped up.
I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I mean, if Tom was in here, I'm sure he would tell us. But I don't know
rumors are
what's
saying
going
that
on.
Chelsea. Rumors are saying Chelsea might be
Where's transfer
interested.
Tom
in
when you need him?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with
Kieran.
Caicedo, to be honest with you. I've heard a lot of rumours, but I
Kieran.
just feel like, I don't know. Yeah, go on, Adam.
Kieran,
Yep.
this has been terrible. I had to see the Warriors get slapped up yesterday, and now I have to see United choking a lead.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a double whammy for you, mate. Double whammy for you. But I mean, to be fair, at least I mean, I want to ask. I want to ask actually. Obviously,
I need to go, mate. So,
all right, KSI. No worry, man. Cheers for coming on, mate. Appreciate it, KSI.
thanks, man.
But yeah.
Sorry about this. I'm having a few problems.
No, that's all right, Daz. Don't worry about it. But I wanted to ask actually because G made the point saying it's a good point. Dazza, do you think this is a good point, or do you think this is 2 points dropped?
Let me look in. Let me have a look at you. Which comment are we looking at?
Sorry, yeah. I think Red Devil Studio made the comment up here saying it was a good point. Where is it? It's here, I think. He says, overall, though, it's a good point with a game in hand against Leicester. I think certain fans were getting a bit too gassed on potential title challenge. Do you agree that it was a good point today? Or do you think it was 2 points dropped?
Well, if you said to me before the game that we were going to get at least a point out of Leicester, you know, I would have happily taken it. But the way that we've ended up getting that point, even though we were, you know, leading twice, I'm disappointed with a draw. So no, I wouldn't say this is a good point. It's a decent point away from home when you look at it. You consider the team we're up against, but the fact that we've taken the lead twice and ended up not winning a game is what is what annoys me. So in fairness, I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't say that it's a good point. I would say it's 2 massive points dropped because now we're stuck in third place again, and we really should have been. We should have caught up to Liverpool by now. We would have been a point behind, and now we're going to be 7 points behind tomorrow night.
Yeah. That is the frustrating thing. Yeah, that's the frustrating thing for me. That when you have all the chances that we created against Leicester today, to come away with a point, it's really kind of hard to take. But at the same time, as you said, before the game, I think a lot of United fans were nervous that Leicester are playing some decent football right now, and they were gonna come out on top. But we held our own, and we nearly came away with a win, and the plan nearly worked to perfection. But the plan only really works if you take your chances. If you don't take your chances, it's not going to work out for you. And today, defensively, we came unstuck once again. Kobe says Leicester goals were lucky. I think both goals, to be fair, we kind of gifted them a little bit. The second goal was well worked, but the first goal we kind of gave it away just outside the box. But it was a good strike. So there were elements that were lucky. What are your thoughts, Daz?
The first goal was a good goal, but the defence is shit. They needed to they needed to close them down quick enough. Yes, I have had a shave, by the way. Yeah, you are quite right. No, we didn't close them down enough for the first goal. Second goal, Vardy's free open, and it wasn't even a particularly good goal. It was just they got the goal because our players literally couldn't clear it away, and they literally kicked it straight to them, and then the ball comes through. And Jamie Vardy scores. By the way, it has gone down as an Axel Franzébé own goal, apparently.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Bit of a kick in the balls there.
Yeah.
That's annoying, but yeah, I found something on Twitter saying it had gone down as an own goal. But to be honest with you, I didn't think we deserved to draw that. I think we should have won. I thought the first half I don't think we were great. I don't think we were brilliant all match, but I thought we deserved a win, which is saying something.
Yeah, we created enough chances for a win.
We weren't great in the first half, but we were better in the first half. Second half, we had chances, couldn't put them away, should have won. But some of the chances that we had weren't good chances. They weren't like clear cut, some of them. Marcus Rashford, I don't know how he missed that first half header. I could have scored it.
Yeah.
And of course,
that's the frustrating thing.
I like Marcus But for me, there's still occasions where he's ball greedy. And that needs to stop. And he's finishing, I think the finishing from both teams today wasn't on point. The finishing was awful from both teams today. And in fairness, if either team had taken those chances, we could have had a goal fest. But second half, it was boring. And I think even if you were neutral, you'd be saying it was a boring second half. The first half was all right. The first half was evenly matched. It was an evenly matched game. So in fairness to them, I thought a draw would have been a fair result, but I wasn't happy with with the fact that we only got the point. We only got a point. We should have won it, but
we should have.
What it is
I agree.
The point away from home, which we should have won, but
it's frustrating because obviously, I think it's even more frustrating by the fact that Leicester are, above us in the table. We could have gone second. This was a big opportunity for us to actually, secure second place for this week. Well, or mostly secure second place for this week anyway. I guess there could have been other results that could have gone against us. But I think the only positive you can take is the fact we have that game in hand. So we're still in the mix. We're still in the top 4 mix. And realistically, as I said, I don't want to get drawn into title talk because you never know what sort of thing can happen. We could now go on a really bad run of form and end up back 7th or 8th place like we were before. So the league is so close this year that I think there's only kind of 5 or 6 points separating 10th and 3rd or 4th. So it's so close that one slip up means that you could fall down the league again. So it's I agree with you. You can't say that we're out of anything. I don't think you can really say that there's no chance we win the title this year. I think our hopes are slim, especially with the defence we have. But because the league's so close, unless Liverpool kind of start running away with it, I think we're still in it. But we need that consistency. I'm going to ask you finally, Daz. Who do you think was your man of the match today from a Man United point of view? If you had to pick one.
I did end up picking one in the end. I did my match ratings on the United website, and the only person really I could pick out that was actually good enough to get man of the match was Bruno. Even though I think we can get a lot more out of Bruno. I didn't think it was one of his better. I don't think it was one of his best performances, to be honest with you. But I mean, he got the only reason I really gave him it was because he got the goal and the assist, and he was involved in a lot of it, but he wasn't great. I don't think anyone was really.
True.
I think we just lacked. We lacked a bit of endeavour. We lacked a bit of. I wouldn't say we lacked a bit of determination, because we were still determined to go on and grab the winner, but we just lacked that end product that we used to seeing. And I don't know how. I mean, I still don't know how we've gone from scoring 6 against Leeds to not even win against Leicester. And I know people will say, well, it's easy because Leicester were a better team, but if you compare them, they've both got strong attacks, and their defence wasn't particularly good today, Leicester's, and neither was Leeds when they played us. So 2 defences that were both like as bad as each other that we've come up against, and we've still not beaten Leicester. I
think the main.
We need to defend better. We need to defend better, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, for me, the main difference between the 2 games, as you said, Daz, is we were more clinical against Leeds. Against Leeds, we were 4-0 up in the first half, and we basically took every single chance that came to us. Whereas in this game, we missed opportunities. We weren't clinical enough. So that's for me the main difference. And that's realistically, in most games we've dropped points this season, it's very rare that we get outplayed. I mean, I think Arsenal, when they played us at Old Trafford, were probably the better team in that one. There are a few games where, even though we weren't the better team, we still came away with 3 points, which is a good sign. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of times in games where the goals we concede are needless goals. We almost kind of gift goals to teams. And it's frustrating. Yeah. It's frustrating when that's the reason why you don't come away with the win or 3 points.
We're back on top.
Thank you, Owen, for that. Kobe says can't wait until the Arsenal versus Chelsea game. #AFTV and chill. I tell you what, mate. We need Arsenal to do us a favour. Kobe says if we don't get Upamecano, what do you think of Konate? I mean, obviously we played against him twice in the Champions League. I didn't think he was too bad. Daz, what are your thoughts? Because obviously you've watched him probably a little bit more in the Bundesliga.
Same quality as Upamecano. Very good. They're both very good players. Don't know whether United would be able to get him. It's the thing. But if we could get him, that'd be good because he's the sort of player that United really could do with. But you could be looking at a lot of quite a lot of money really for a player of his caliber. Same as Upamecano. I mean, the two players that we do it, but are we likely to get them? That's the. I don't think we'd get either of them. No on the board. So it's all down to whether the club can afford to spend that much money. I don't know. You said what was it? 40? What did you say? 40 million or something like that? Did you say?
Yeah, I think it's about 45 million release clause, something like that.
Well, I mean I'd rather go for 2 centre backs, right? But I'd rather go for 2 centre backs and pay just under 100 million for them, rather than paying 120 million for a white mid who's probably not going to start ahead of Mason Greenwood.
Yeah,
because
true.
One's very, and he still hasn't scored in the Bundesliga.
Yeah. I think his goal came in the cup, didn't it?
If he can't score a goal in the Bundesliga, how is he going to score in the Prem?
Well, some people saying, Daryl. Yeah, I think some people are saying, Daryl, that maybe Jadon Sancho wanted the move to Manchester United so much that his head's gone, if you know what I mean. He's so focused on coming to Manchester United that he can't play well in the Bundesliga. Do you think that's true?
It could be, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
If that is the case, then that's you can't let these sort of things go to your head. Without actually coming out and saying and talking about it. I know, that could be the case, but it shouldn't though, because if you're at a club, doesn't matter whether doesn't matter whether there's rumours going on about you, this, that, and the other. You still have to play the game properly. You can't, you can't be playing for a club and deciding not to play properly because
exactly.
you want to move somewhere. You still have to. You still have to play to your full potential for that club. Otherwise, you won't. Otherwise you won't get paid that much. Because they'll put the pay wages down.
Well, exactly. Yeah, and also if you don't put yourself in the shop window, then what clubs are going to want to buy you? That's the thing, isn't it? So, yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a weird one, the Jadon Sancho situation. But I'm probably going to leave it there. I think we've kind of gone over the main points. But guys, if you are watching as a video, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Who is your man of the match and what you thought of the game overall. But thank you to everyone who has been watching throughout the stream. Really appreciate it. Thank you to my 3 guests as well. KSI, Adam Talksport and Daz's Football Stand, Daryl Johnson. Make sure to check out Daz's Football Stand as well if you haven't already. As well as Red Devil Studio, who was in the stream a bit earlier. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully our next game will come out with a win and get back to winning ways. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you had a great... Yeah, Merry Christmas, as Dad says. Hope you had a great Christmas. Only 364 more days until we do it all again. And hopefully you have a good New Year's as well. I will be back before then anyway, but I may as well say it now. I've already said it. But thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button as well. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.